Good morning, students. In today's class, we are going to talk about the common errors, and in this particular section, we are going to discuss about the subject-verb agreement. If you remember correctly, in my earlier classes, we have taken up errors of preposition, we have taken up errors of adjectives, then we have discussed about you can say many other topics like conjunctions, like errors with the nouns, and in today's class we're going to take up the very important topic, subject verb agreement. Now, what do you understand by subject verb agreement? Subject verb agreement refers to that a finite verb must agree with its subject in number and person. So when we talk about that the subject and the verb must be in agreement with each other, what we mean to say is that the verb must agree with the subject in number and person. As for example, I'll give you two sentences. The first sentence, I am satisfied. And the second sentence, he works regularly. So when you go through these two sentences, you will agree that the subject is in consonance with the verb in both the sentences. I am satisfied, and second, he works regularly. So in this particular aspect, that when we know that what is subject verb agreement, there are certain rules to this, and there are very important rules. We can say the first rule, that is, if the subject consists of two or more singular nouns or pronouns. I'll repeat, if the subject consists of two or more singular nouns or pronouns joined by and, it takes a plural verb. To put it simply, when we have two subjects, they can be nouns or they can be pronouns, and when they are joined by and in single quotes, the verb is always plural. As for example, Horace and Sydney were two brothers. Horace and Sydney are the names, they are nouns, proper nouns, were two brothers. So the verb that is here is a plural verb. Secondly, we can take sentence like Calcutta, Bombay, Madras and Delhi are the most important cities of India. So in this particular sentence, we have four nouns, and all the nouns, they are connected with the plural verb are. Calcutta, Bombay, Madras and Delhi are the most important cities of India. So this is rule 1. Now in rule 2, if the nouns refer to the same person or thing, the verb is singular. So this is in continuation with the rule 1 when we say that two or more subjects, maybe nouns or pronouns, when they are joined by and, the verb is plural. But continue to this, there is a second rule which says that if the nouns refer to the same person or thing, the verb is always singular. What I mean to say is that if two subjects are given and if two nouns are given in a sentence and both of them are referring to one person, the verb will always be singular. As for example, in the sentence, the poet and dramatist is being honored. The poet and dramatist is being honored. So the poet and dramatist are one and the same person. That is why the verb is singular. Second sentence, my friend, philosopher and guide was introduced to the family. My friend, philosopher and guide was introduced to the family. So here in this particular sentence, friend, philosopher and guide are one and the same person. However, students, there is another catch to this particular rule, and that is the use of definite article. The use of definite article is important in some of these cases. Suppose we have the poet and dramatist refer to one person, which is both a poet and a dramatist. So that is why he is honored. That is why the verb is singular. But if we say the poet and the dramatist, if we are adding the definite article before both the nouns, I repeat, if we are adding definite articles before both the nouns, that is, we use the sentence the poet and the dramatist. So it means that it refers to two persons, and that is why the verb will be plural. So we can say the poet and the dramatist are being honored. So in this particular section, we have one rule which has three bifurcations. The first, which says when two or more pronouns or nouns are joined by and, the verb is plural. Then again is a catch to that rule. But if they refer to the same person, the verb is singular. But if you put the definite article and refer to two things, the verb is plural. Now, the third rule we can say, when the nouns have practically the same meaning and are placed together for emphasis, they take a singular verb. The third rule, which is in subject verb agreement, is that when the nouns have practically the same meaning and are placed together for emphasis, they take a singular verb. As for example, you can say, the honor and glory of a country is at stake. So honor and glory refer to the same thing. Then there is the fourth rule, which says when the subject consists of two nouns or pronouns joined with single quotes or as well as, the verb agrees with the first of them. So the fourth rule is that when two subjects, they can be nouns or pronouns, and they are joined by with or as well as, the verb agrees with the first of them. As for example, I'll give you a sentence. All the passengers with the driver were killed in the accident. So what does the rule say? The rule says that if two nouns or pronouns are joined by with or as well as, the verb is going to agree with the first of them. So in this particular sentence, all the passengers with the driver. So the passengers is plural, and that is why the verb that is used is plural. That is, were killed in the accident. We can take another sentence like this. The president with all the members of the cabinet was present at the Republic Day celebration. So have you noticed the difference between the two sentences? In the first sentence, we have a plural subject, that is all the passengers. That is why the verb is were. And in the second sentence, the president with all the members of the cabinet was present at the Republic Day celebrations. In the second sentence, the subject, that is the first subject, before the word with is a singular, that is the president. That is why we use a singular verb, that is was present. Now the fifth rule that we take in this particular class is when two subjects are connected with. I repeat, when two subjects are connected with not only but also, the verb agrees with the latter subject. So we have a correlative conjunction here in which we have not only but also. And when we have two subjects which are connected with not only but also, the verb is going to agree with the latter subject. That means the second one. Suppose you have a sentence, not only the master but his servants also are hard at work. The sentence, what does the sentence say? Not only the master but his servants also are hard at work. So in this particular sentence, we have the joining correlative conjunction not only and but also. But the first subject in the sentence is master and the second subject in the sentence is servants. So we said in the rule that if the two subjects are joined with not only but also, the verb is going to agree with the second subject. So naturally in the sentence, not only the master but his servants are also hard at work. That is why we use the verb are. So students, in this particular class, we're just going to take up the 5 rules because this is a big, big topic, and it is the most important topic when it comes to the common errors. So in this particular class, we have taken up the 5 basic rules regarding the joining of the nouns and the pronouns, the joining of the subjects, and what kind of verb it should follow. In tomorrow's class, we're going to take up the second part of this particular topic. Thank you.